During World War II, German U-boats could spend weeks operating across the Atlantic, but eventually every submarine had to come back. Engines were worn, batteries had been pushed hard, and components could fail. And when that happened, some of those U-boats came here. This is the submarine base at Saint-Nazaire on the Atlantic coast of France. More than 300 meters long, with 14 submarine pens and a roof almost 10 meters thick in some areas, it looks like a gigantic shelter. But the concrete was only the shell. Inside was an industrial maintenance center capable of repairing, rebuilding, and machining many of the parts needed to return a submarine to service. Saint-Nazaire was chosen because the industrial capability already existed. Long before the war, this was a major shipbuilding city, with docks, skilled workers, and heavy engineering around the port. When a U-boat arrived, technicians first had to discover its real condition. Diesel engines had run for hundreds of hours. Batteries, pumps, valves, and electrical equipment had spent weeks working in heat, humidity, and constant vibration. Sometimes there was also battle damage. One of the best documented examples is U-96. In 1941, it spent more than 5 weeks here undergoing a major overhaul. Its engines were opened, worn components repaired, fuel and cooling systems serviced, compressors rebuilt, and damaged sections welded. But the most interesting part is what happened when a component could not simply be reused. Inside the bunker were specialized workshops for engines, valves, welding, machining, tools, and even periscopes. There were lathes, drilling machines, and other machine tools. A damaged component did not always have to wait for a replacement from Germany. Technicians could dismantle it, measure it, machine or rebuild what was needed, and return it to the submarine. So this was much more than a warehouse of spare parts. It was a protected industrial workshop where many mechanical problems could be solved on site. Highly specialized components still depended on the wider supply network, but local machining reduced one of the biggest problems in wartime maintenance: waiting. Even a tiny missing part could immobilize an entire submarine. The U-boat's own engineers knew the submarine, but major repairs also involved dockyard technicians, machinists, mechanics, electricians, and welders. And repairing the machinery was only part of the turnaround. Fuel, food, ammunition, and torpedoes also had to be replenished while the technical work continued. Imagine the base at full operation. One submarine arrives while another prepares to leave. An engine is being dismantled, a damaged component is being machined, and another team is testing a repaired system. This was not simply a bunker, it was a maintenance and production system. Routine work could take little more than a week. A major overhaul could take more than a month. U-96 remained here for around 5.5 weeks, and when the repairs were complete, the submarines still had to be tested. There are documented cases of dockyard workers going to sea aboard repaired U-boats during post-maintenance trials. The repair had to work under real operating conditions. That principle is still familiar today: diagnose, repair, test, and only then return the machine to service. Now the bunker makes more sense. The concrete was not only protecting submarines, it protected workshops, machine tools, technicians, spare parts, and the ability to repair many boats. Destroy one submarine and one boat disappears. Destroy the maintenance infrastructure and many can be affected. That strategic importance had terrible consequences for Saint-Nazaire. The bunker was extremely difficult to destroy. The city around it was not. Allied bombing devastated Saint-Nazaire. Civilians were evacuated, and by 1945, around 80 to 85% of the city had been destroyed. Yet the bunker survived. From a technological point of view, this structure is fascinating, but it cannot be separated from its purpose. It was built by Nazi Germany to support submarine warfare, and that military role had devastating consequences for the civilian population. After the war, Saint-Nazaire remained an industrial city. Only a short distance from here, Chantier de l'Atlantique today builds some of the most complex ships in the world. I have another video about the shipyard and what is being built there today, and you can find it linked on screen. Saint-Nazaire also has a long aviation tradition, and Airbus Atlantic now operates major facilities in the area. None of this exists because of the submarine base. It is almost the opposite. The bunker was built here partly because Saint-Nazaire already had the people, workshops, and industrial knowledge needed to work with complex machines. More than 80 years later, the bunker is still standing, but the technology around it now serves a completely different purpose. Perhaps that is the most interesting part of Saint-Nazaire. Not simply that this bunker survived, but that the city's industrial identity did too.